My name is Emeigh, CEO of Blazing SEO. I started with proxies 7 or 8 years ago. When I was doing SEO myself, I was using a lot of proxies. And it became clear to me how the proxy market needed a higher level of quality and someone to take that seriously. And so I began my journey by first reselling from a provider and seeing the low quality that I received. And from there, it was obvious to me that something more was needed. So I created Blazing SEO to give that quality proxy to customers just like you. The main difference between Blazing SEO's proxies and other competitors is our commitment to quality. And I know it's an overused terminology, but I saw from day one that the quality was missing. And so we take a lot of measures of 24/7 support, and our engineers are always on call for any issues. And across our ban mitigation and our customized plans, that level of quality goes up and up. The things that we're doing to help our customers avoid more bans and blocking is to provide clean ASNs, clean IPs is the core of it. But above that is you have your subnet levels, and then you have your ASN level. And the degree we go to is, again, we have our own ASN that we control. That helps for a certain degree, but diversity of subnets sometimes is more important for a lot of use cases. Another thing we do to help our customers and help control the end-to-end process of providing proxies is that we own our own hardware in the data centers. You won't find a lot of our competitors who can say that they've acquired the hardware, put them in the data center, and network their own setup. We saw what we could do by controlling more of these variables. You know, if we buy it, we know how much wear and tear is on this. We know the age of it exactly down to the T. And we started over time acquiring more and more of our own hardware in our facilities, which ultimately gives us more control over providing a better service to our customers. We can put you on your own unique ASN, and what that allows you to do is control all the traffic to your own ASN instead of having noisy neighbors that are sending traffic that you don't want, that's causing your software to act poorly. We can give you certain subnets on certain ASNs of ours, and by doing that, it gives you more variables to control. One of our enterprise customers needed more proxies in certain European countries that we were not in, and we weren't in physically. And so we went through the process of setting up a contract with some European colocation providers. We got our servers there, we got our network stood up there, and now our customer has faster latency and less bans because the IPs are located physically in those countries, and it's very clear to the website that they're scraping that, like, oh, these are legitimate German IPs that are located in this physical data center. What we find a lot is that you'll sign up and you'll get IPs from certain ASNs, certain subnets, certain regions, and you'll have a poor experience and think, oh, it must just be the general health of the network. But really, it isn't. It's something we can customize. And so we have a lot of customers that reach out and say, like, hey, my IPs aren't working for such and such use case. And we know immediately, oh, they need IPs from this subnet, or oh, they need the IPs from this ASN. And by having that conversation, we can do that no cost to you. And thus, we create this partnership that we're interested in your success because it means you're going to be our customer for a longer period of time. We've seen with a lot of our customers, scraping proxy customers, that they have this aha moment that really hits them hard when they realize, like, wow, this is what scraping and proxies can provide for my business. I had no idea this is going to give me such an edge over my competitors. I understand why a lot of enterprises are worried about putting all their eggs in one basket. It's important to mitigate your risks from an entire data center going offline. If you're the provider and all your proxies are in that data center, if an entire ASN or the ISP gets banned on the site that you're using it for. These types of issues are ones that we saw from the very beginning. We are in almost 30 data centers worldwide. We have 7 different ASNs that our IPs are spread across. We have over 10,000 unique C-class subnets. And so these various other types of things that we do to mitigate those concerns allow you to work with a single company that is reliable. We have our track record. We've been around for a long time. You can see our team on our sites. You know who we are. We welcome you to our office to come meet us. We'll bring you to one of our data centers to show you the standards of quality that we use in our hardware that are in our data centers. And so if you're thinking about buying proxies and you're looking around, you should look around and ask other people, but we want you to reach out to us and form this partnership and let us have a conversation with you, because we really believe we'll find a solution for your use case. What makes me proud to lead Blazing SEO is our long-standing commitment to quality and the ethics we have in such a industry that tiptoes on black hat versus white hat. So I think it's really important that a proxy provider is clear on where they stand in terms of ethics and even legality. The proxies in the news, if you look in the news, people use proxies to do things like hacking and brute forcing and DDoSing websites. And so they can be used for bad, but they can be used for a lot of good things. And so it's up to the company to make sure the users they're allowing to use their service is using it for ethical and obviously legal reasons. And a lot of companies don't make that clear, and I think they take a blind eye to what people are using it for the sake of making money, unfortunately. So the role of the proxy provider then is to protect against nefarious use cases. We make it very clear on our site that we don't condone these things. And when customers come to us and ask for that, we turn them away. We're very aware of many of our competitors who've been caught red-handed using very unethical and questionably illegal practices to acquiring IP addresses to resell to people and to use other users' traffic. I believe we have a future in Blazing SEO to be that provider that people can rely on to give them safe, ethical proxies for their businesses. It's very easy to sacrifice quality to make more money in the short term, and it's very easy to sacrifice ethics to make money in the short term. But we believe that for the long term, you have to have both as high as possible. And we believe our longest standing customers are here with us because they see that and recognize that.